Hope, a four-letter word that can dramatically change the way that you view your life. And now I know some people that are going to watch this are going to be like, oh, he has no idea what my world is like. And that's true. I don't. You haven't contacted me and let me know exactly what you're dealing with. One thing that I have a sure fact of is that everyone throughout the world has a struggle. I have yet to meet somebody that has a perfect life, whether they're struggling financially, physically, with their health, with their job, with their relationships, with their children, with a sibling. Everyone's dealing with something. And the interesting thing about the things that we're dealing with, they're designed for us to become better. Now, I know that sounds hokey, and I know for a lot of people that you won't want to listen to that you don't believe that. And that's okay. The moment that we can accept the norms of our lives, when it changes, all of a sudden you get laid off. The moment that you can accept that you got laid off, the quicker you can then move to finding that next job, the quicker that you can then decide to put your resume out there, to decide to go and apply at jobs. It's when we get stuck in that negative rut of not allowing ourselves to move forward because we want it to be like the past. I find the same thing with people with health. I want to be the same way I was in high school. Well, in high school, you weren't 5'10" and 185 pounds. Now, you're already 6'1". There's no way you can go into the past. And people think that they can go back to who they were once before. The past doesn't exist. It's done. It's over. Now it's the time to focus on the now. And so when we can accept our particular lot in life, and it does remind me, if you've ever played cards, you have to play the hand you're dealt. You can't give in. Now, of course, there's folding and there's holding, and there's a way to be able to play your hand, but you still have to play. There's no way to quit in the game of life. What we have to figure out, because I'm in the game too, and I have the same struggles that you do. Mine might be different, and you might be having marital relationship problems, and I might be having financial problems, right? So we all have our own struggles in life, and that's okay. We can't allow the circumstances of our life to tell us who we are. We can't allow the tragedies that occur in our lives and other people's lives to tell us that the world is an evil place. There are bad things that are going to happen, but there are more good things, and there are more good people. And that is my firm belief. I know some people might not believe that. They find it hokey. They find it, juvenile or even naive. But I've been all over the world. I've been to multiple countries. And yeah, I'm in almost 40. So I haven't lived a super long life. But my life experience has taught me that everybody deals with something, and that life is meant to be abundant and good. The downside, though, is that opposition exists in all things. So even though there's good, we have to taste the bitter. In order for there to be abundance, there needs to be scarcity. And unfortunately, for there to be bliss and happiness, there has to be tragedy and heartache. And I know that's tough for all of us to deal with. Trust me, I've been pushed to my knees, just like you have. I've been pushed to tears. I've been pushed to the limit of my life, which reminds me of a poem. Come to the edge, he said. No, I'll fall. Come to the edge, he said. No, I'll fall. Come to the edge, he said. Come to the edge now. And so I came to the edge, and he pushed me off, and I flew. And so that's exactly where we might find ourselves, is pushed to the edge of what we can do, what we can endure. But it's being pushed to that edge that we find those wings to fly. I'm a believer that good things will come. I'm a believer that humanity is filled with love and compassion. And if we can remember that as we associate with anybody out there, and if we can remember that good things will come out of our lives in the midst of tragedy, we'll find ourselves flying to higher heights. Have a great weekend. Sherm's out.